Hey guys, welcome to the arcade. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. And tonight I wanted to have a little chat with you about barcades. Now, this is something that it seems to be growing more and more in various different places. Now, in America, that seems to be all the rage. There's arcades that are opening up that you can just pay into the machines would be all free play. You just pay your entrance and away you go. There are other ones that are sort of what you would define as the barcade. They seem to be the ones that are trying to make it more into a nightlife experience, which is really cool. Now, they definitely do seem to be what has spurred on I guess a kind of rebirth of the arcade. Whereas when we were young, you would have gone to the arcade in the daylight hours. Your parents would have given you a handful of change. You would have went in. You would have played, Simpsons and Turtles and all the rest of it. You would have gotten yourself a can of Coke or something like out of a vending machine. That was how you survived in the arcade. Now those arcades are pretty much gone. Like the ones that I would have went to in my youth, I went back to sort of where I would have played in the arcades, and no real big arcades where I actually live. It was where we went on holiday up the coast. There's a town up there and loads of different arcades, and I decided I wanted to go back for like a Father's Day experience a few years ago. And it was actually, we were up there just by chance a couple of weeks beforehand, and I went, I'm just going to stick my head in just to have a look at the old arcades. And I came out of there and I was gutted because the arcade is gone. They were all changed to ticket redemption machines, and one of the big arcades up there had been like cut in half almost. So one half was all these ticket redemption machines, and the other half was behind a curtain that only 18s and above could go to, and they were just gambling machines, the one-armed bandits or the slots, the reels, whatever you want to call them. And it was really disheartening because this was a place that I loved in my youth, and now I know that it can never return because it's gone. Everything that made it a really cool place is gone. And I suppose I understand why that these arcades had to adapt to be able to survive in the changing environments. COVID didn't help any business at all. Arcades, least of all. These are places you have to actually go to in order to socialize, in order to play the machines. If no one is allowed out of their houses, these places aren't going to survive. They have to do something in order to bring in the cash flow. And if that was ticket redemptions, if that was slot machines, fair play to them. They've kept their livelihood going. But the arcade itself, what's happening to it? And I think that's where Barcades have come in, that they've brought it back, and it's not for the kids anymore. Is a kid doesn't care about an arcade, not of this generation anyway. But us, children of the 80s and 90s, who still love our arcades, these barcades they're built for us because it's a full-on arcade and it has a bar in it. That's the perfect combination. Now over in America, they do have a whole bunch of them, which is really cool. And actually, there is a documentary at the it's doing the tours, like Sundance and South by Southwest, you know, those independent film festivals. So I'm hoping it comes onto a streaming platform, or at least up onto like Google Play or one of those stores that you'll be able to rent it fairly soon. So it's and for some reason I did not get this up, which is really stupid of me. Can't talk and type at the same time. Too difficult. So yes, it's Token Taverns, which I use stupid adverts. I'm not paying for, what are they calling it? YouTube Plus or YouTube Red? It used to be YouTube Red. Maybe it's just called YouTube Premium now. I don't know. Adverts annoy the hell out of me. I just forgot to mute it there when I was trying to get up the documentary trailer. Oh, Hobby Hands. I think even if you could go back in time, you're an adult and it would not be exactly the same either from adult eyes. Oh, you live where Sundance is. Where does I've been to? I know where South by Southwest. It's in Austin, but where is Sundance? Is that out in California? Is it? I have no idea. But let me jump over and we'll play like the trailer for Token Taverns, because I think it looks really cool, and it's definitely one I want to check out.
Were arcades, bars were the place that they landed.
Because of the experience we had back in the 80s, that is now revived with the arcade bar. It's brought a resurgence.
There are a huge number of arcade bars popping up all over the country.
It's this new meeting ground for people. They're doing gangbuster business.
These are all these are all the people that grew up with arcades.
Even trying to keep beer
It's
stock.
fantastic
Being
looking.
able to experience this piece of our childhood, the whole nostalgia aspect of it, they just go
Oh
so
my
well
God.
together.
You got all your old favorite games.
Look at that,
Come
they
on
had
in,
the
play the games.
oh,
and
Danny
have beer and whiskey. My preference whiskey, but
When I walked into my first arcade bar, I was just like almost in tears. I'm like, oh my God, someone gets me.
You get to do something that you love and share it with a community that's incredibly supportive.
Like, how
90s
cool
hip-hop,
is this?
beers and video games. You're doing good work.
I
You
really
can't
want to
have a
watch
business
this
like
because
this
I
and not be
love
passionate
all
about
these
it.
kind of
Play the game
documentaries
with the owner
that
of this place, and he can destroy me. I might leave
go
that in
through
guilt.
the old arcade experiences.
Announcing last call for bars and nightclubs requiring their shutdown.
COVID-19 is definitely a curveball. There are going to be a lot of places that don't reopen.
I'm facing weeks where we're making maybe $200.
It sucks to be you.
We're still here, I guess.
Now there's a whole pandemic. What do we do?
We drink. Cheers.
We drink.
Hi, Stormy.
Hi.
Only in 2020, Stormy Daniels is coming in a reboot.
I think Donald Trump's favorite character in Mario Kart was Toad.
I'm triggered. I'm leaving.
I was like, oh my god, this guy's got wrestling 2 in this place.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Like maybe we'll wager like tonight's tab on it.
Sweating.
There's a connection that goes beyond the physical game.
If it wasn't for this place, I wouldn't be who I am today.
I never thought it would become a spot where people love it as much as they do. We're just a friendly neighborhood arcade bar.
It's a way that it's been introduced to a whole new generation.
I think it's a pretty exciting time to be a gamer, because pretty soon around your corner there's going to be an arcade bar.
It brings back the fever and passion from the 1980s.
Keep up the good fight.
It's a great place. It really brings back history.
Token Taverns. Boom shakalaka.
It's like, how cool does that look? That's some of those shots in the Barcades just look absolutely incredible. Sundance is in Utah. I never actually knew that Robert Redford started it. That is really cool. And yes, Retro Ralph, I did spot him in there, and I follow him quite religiously. I'm always about. He's one of the few live streams that I was actually able to sort of get onto, because he used to do his sort of early morning, and it was probably afternoon our time, so I was able to jump on. But yeah, Ralph's really been championing the Token Taverns documentary. I love stuff like this. Like, I don't know how many times I've watched King of Kong. It's just it's something that I really enjoy experiencing over and over again. Maybe because it gives that little taste of nostalgia that I didn't have anymore, and didn't really have another way of getting. So I really do dig these kind of documentaries. Now, looking at the sort of the shots that they're showing, some of the ones just over the COVID and the pandemic period are just really sad, just to see these places just empty out. But fair play to the ones that manage to power through and come out the other side. That takes a lot of heart to be able to try and do something like that when you see your business not failing, because it's not. It was something that you had no control over. It's not failing. It's dying. It's like the business was sick, and there's nothing you could do except like wait it out. And I think coming out of the other side of the pandemic, people want these Barcade experiences more and more. We had a resurgence, I think, of Barcades. Yeah, I think that's how it's gone, that these places have... There's definitely a market for them. Maybe other people have now seen that and gone, hey, we could do something similar. So, in the UK, there isn't really a big Barcade scene, at least not at the moment. So, the big one over here is a group called NQ64. So these guys started off in Manchester, built this little barcade. You can see all like the sort of the neon, the graffiti type art and things like that. It's a fantastic place, and the people who work in there and run the place understand the games as well as the people that are going to be down there. They are trying to attract people that want to play these games. They have consoles that are run by EverDrives. They're all proper arcade machine. There's none of the sort of the emulation. There's no arcade one-ups. These are proper old school arcade machines, and they're fantastic. Like I say, they started off in Manchester with one place, then they opened up another one in Manchester, and now they have 9, possibly 11, with 2 more opening fairly soon. And just look at the scenes you've got there. We went to the one in Edinburgh, so if I sort of go into there, I can sort of show you. Look at the artwork that they had commissioned for this. How fucking cool does that look? And you can see all of the there. That's one side of the shooters. There's Silent Scope just hiding in the background there. Point Blank 2, House of the Dead 3, Terminator 2. Amazing selection of games. Not just the games themselves. Their drink menu is really cool. Like, have a little look at some of the ones you can get there. There's something for everyone. So it's not just you. Yes, you can still get your beers and you can still get your whiskeys and all the rest of it. But I was walking around playing. What was I playing at the time? Maybe Outrun, and the drinks menu's all been redone, but at the time I was walking around with a cocktail that was called a Bubble Bobble. I saw it on the menu and just went, I have to have one of these. And it was really nice, but it had those tapioca pearls, you know, that you would get in like in bubble tea. So it had them at the bottom, and I've never had that before. And I just remember sucking one up through a straw and biting into it and just went, ah. The drink itself was lovely. I just did not like those tapioca pearls. But I think they really understand what people are looking for when they go into a place like this. The it suited me down to the ground. Like, I really thought this was a really cool place to be. Like, if I jump over to here for a second, you can kind of see the a bit more of the arcade or the bar in there. I just thought it was busy enough. So these are all the different consoles that you can see on the wall there. So they all run by EverDrives, which is just a way of, it's a cartridge that holds a memory card which holds the ROMs, but it's the hardware doing what the hardware is meant to do. There's no emulation, it's all going through the native hardware, and you have your pinball machines. Guitar Hero was on that a great few times. And here's just one bank of the arcade machines that they've got in here. So it's all classic ones, plus some new ones. There was the new Mario Kart arcade racer. There's it's 4-player linked up. Outrun. There's Cubert, Tron, Track and Field. The list was fantastic for what was actually in there. I really do love. And that's my high score there. Boom, boom, boom. So, it's probably been well beaten at this stage. So, like, this is definitely like the big one that's come out over here, and it does seem to be thriving. There is rumors that it is going to come to Belfast at some stage, which I'm really hoping for. Although that was announced back in August and it hasn't, there's been no movement on it as yet. I'm still holding on to the hope that it will be there. There's other sort of smaller ones as well. There's one up in, I think it's in Blackpool, called Quasars, and they really understand. They really understand the experience they want to give to people like us, with it being an arcade and a bar mixed. Obviously you don't want people getting absolutely hammered and then wrecking the machines. You just want them to have a really good time, and that's exactly what we had when we were in NQ64. There's the bubble bobble, that was it. You can see the tapioca pearls at the bottom. They were stinking, but the drink itself, really nice. Nostalgia Nerd is also trying to open a barcade in Norwich. Ooh, I must have checked that one out. I love Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble is still one of my favorite arcade games. When I had the Legends Gamer Pro running, I would quite regularly try and get into the top 10. I don't think I ever made it into the top 10 on the high scores. I did on the weekly and the monthly kind of ones a few times, but never made it into the top 10 for Bubble Bobble, which was a big shame. Look at that, like the old PlayStations and jumping through on the N64. Star Wars Trilogy, fantastic. It seems to be like the wee fight corner that they had. Just such an absolute cracker setup. I really enjoyed that. We were actually over there, it was for a mate's stag do. So when we were heading over to Edinburgh, people were asking, where do people want to go? So I just sort of stuck this into the chat, and there was about 4 or 5 of us just kind of went, yeah. And we went over there on the first night. There it is, my high score. But yeah, it's probably been well beaten. It's called Barcadia, and he is trying to raise funds on Kickstarter. Do you know what? I'm going to have a quick look, so bear with me 1 second just while I switch thing. Goddamn buttons. So 1 second, I am going to look this up. Barcadia Kickstarter, it comes right up. Let's have a look. By Nostalgia Nerd. So So it is, yeah, brand new arcade bar opening in Norwich. Has it closed? Okay, yes, it has. It's been put through. That is fantastic. Here are you. So what's the idea? Exclusive membership. Wow. Okay. Yes. Oh, he's got a good idea for this. This is the space that he's going to be getting. Barcade. I love the name. That's really cool. So he's hoping to open. No, that can't be right. Hoping to open in August. Yeah, in April. Let me see the updates. Yep. Although we've been working on the project for almost a year, the work is definitely not slowing down. And in fact, we've got more in our place than ever. Noticing the video of the bar, it's looking a bit drab. So they are still working on it. Machines lined up. Oh, burger time, Frogger. Bobble. Track and field. Max, fucking yes. Oh, Die Hard Arcade. That's a fantastic game. The bar looks awesome. Oh, if I'm ever towards Norwich, I think I'm going to have to check this out. He does have a regular video on his channel about it. Must have a wee look at his stuff then. I'm going to add that to my list. Because yes, that would be really cool. I'd love to follow that just to see how he gets on. I think that's going to be really, really cool. So anyone around the Norwich area, keep an eye on that and let me know how it is. Because I think that would be very, very fun. And maybe Norwich isn't far away. I could get over on the ferry or a quick flight. Maybe organise a wee weekend over there at some point. Make up some excuses. So that's that's NQ64 that we sort of went over there. Now I'm really excited for this weekend. So there's been a load of they describe themselves as pop-up retro experiences. So I think Quasar over in Blackpool sort of describes themselves as that as well, and there's now one coming to Belfast. They're calling themselves Base Arcade. So I've been following them now for the last, I don't know, month and a bit, I guess, since they started just putting up these videos. I mean, go at you. This was like the first one I saw of them just pulling in, machines. And so I had to go looking to find out what the hell was going on. And yes, found out that they were going to be building this pop-up experience. Now, that's the thing that kind of, I don't know, gets me thinking that it's not going to be permanent. Which is a wee bit disappointing. I'd love it to be. They're putting it on in it's a venue not too far away from me up in Belfast, but it's like a ticketed event, at least for this weekend, which is their opening weekend. So me and a few mates have tickets to head up on Sunday. We're gonna jump in. It's one of those ones you pay your ticket, you get in, and all the machines are free to play. So you can see there we've got Turtles coming in, you had Galaga, you've got an old school Donkey Kong. They got some pinball machines from I want to say it's the Irish Pinball Museum or something along the Irish Pinball Association maybe is where they're from. So I think they've got about 4 or 5 different pinball machines in there, again all free to play, and I'm ultimately excited. Like there's that's track and field, isn't it, coming off the van. We've got a cabaret Pac-Man. Yes, it's the wood that makes it good. Like this is going to be absolutely fantastic. So this is the old Star Wars machine. That's the sit-down one, and they were really disappointed because they had like a soft opening a couple of weeks ago for like press and a few sort of invited guests and things like that, and that wasn't working. So it started off the sound wasn't coming through the speakers properly, and apparently as the more they tried to troubleshoot it, the worse the problem got. It then spread to the display. The monitor then kicked off and just wouldn't come back. About last week, I think they put up a video to say that they had gotten it working and they were putting it back into the venue. So I'm like, look how sparse it is there at the moment. There's only like 6-7 machines, and honestly, I don't know how many they've got now. I mean, Galaga, Shinobi, Track and Field, what's that? Pac-Man, Street Fighter 2, Donkey Kong, Time Crisis 2. I know they have a Time Crisis 3 that they're working with as well. There's looks like an old candy cane for Metal Slug. There's the pinball machine. So this is kind of like the soft launch that they had given a few people access to it and allowing them to play and see what it is. Like, look, there's Creatures of the Black Lagoon, Batman Returns, the Addams Family. I'm making a beeline for that one. I really want to play that because I'm really starting to get into pinball machines. There's like an old stand-up outrun. That'll be fun. So I keep going on about this. I really am. There's Crazy Taxi. Sorry, I'm just fucking giddy thinking about this. This is gonna be fucking class. So the idea is, for anyone who's sort of interested or around the Belfast area, for anyone who was subscribed to their, excuse me, shift myself. For anyone who was subscribed to their newsletter or their wee email blast, they got first dibs at the tickets. So they went on sale on a Saturday morning at 12 o'clock, and I was sitting with my phone and I grabbed them, and I'm really glad I did do that, because I think an hour and a half later they put up a post to say that those pre-sale tickets had sold out, and they were going to put the rest up for general sale on the Monday, and then on the Monday they all sold out as well. So there's definitely a demand in and around Belfast for this type of thing. I'd love to know what their thoughts are with regards to, you know, sticking around. They've got a Robotron. Doesn't look like it's an original one. Looks like it's, I don't know, what's that? A modified cabaret machine? Yeah. Still, it's a Robotron. I don't know about that one. That looks weird. But I suppose the cabarets, like, you could have put anything into it as long as you got the deck and the board. It's just a different looking form factor, I suppose. I love a bit of Robotron. Fucking nearly impossible game to play, but yeah, really looking forward to that. There, they've got that's the Time Crisis 3. There's a Defender Cabaret, Point Blank. I love Point Blank. That's gonna be so much fun. Almost looks like a Missile Command. Yes. Yeah, the way the shape of it is. That's a good shout. I wonder if they have a Missile Command actually. I'm tracking through just to see what there's one for the Time Crisis 2 machine that had to drill out the the coin door because they don't have the keys for it. But oh well, that's what these drills were made for, you know. I'm really looking forward to heading up there. So I'm definitely going to try and capture. I'm going to try and capture as much footage as I can, and maybe do like a little review or vlog or something along those lines in the week following. I'd say I'm going to try, because I know as soon as I get there I'm just going to be overcome by all of these machines, and I'm just going to bounce from like Star Wars to Point Blank to pinball and just go around. Oh, that's right as well. They've got it's not on their TikTok, it's somewhere else, maybe on their Instagram. They're going to have like a retro market up there as well, so they've been putting up vendors that they're going to have. So there's one guy who's up there selling old classic consoles, sort of like your Super Nintendo, so the Jaguar, things like that. There's going to be a guy selling comics, and there's a guy going to be selling classic board games. I swear, if that guy is selling D&D dice, I'm in trouble. I am going to leave that place skint, and I've already paid to get into to play all the games. I wasn't expecting to pay any more money. Now, they do have a license, as far as I know, to serve alcohol in that venue where the arcades machines are. Now, whether or not they're going to be serving alcohol in the arcade, that's what I don't know. They don't really describe themselves as a barcade per se. It's a retro pop-up experience. So if they you can see down there, your man has a pint in his hand. See, this guy, oh well, it's disappeared on me. But whether or not that was just for that VIP kind of thing, I don't know. I'm hoping they do, because I'd love to get just a wee pint and sort of dander around and see people playing these machines. This is definitely something that I've missed for a long time. This is why I built this behind me, and it's a social aspect more than the games. I love the games. I can sit out here and I'll power one or two of them on, and I'll sit and I'll play some pinball, or I'll play Marvel vs. Capcom, or I'll have a mess around with Batocera trying to get something working. But see, when like there's people coming round and I can power everything on, and we get about like 5 or 6 people in here, and we're all just playing games and chatting, and the music's going. That's what I remember from the arcade most of all. Me and my mates going into Sportsland, hitting the 4-player turtle machine, seeing how far we could get on, 1 credit each. There'd always be one guy who died first. He'd be like, oh no, I'm allowed an hour credit, I'm allowed an hour buy-in. Oh. That's what I miss most of all, and I think these kind of things, the Barcades, NQ64, Barcadia, and when it opens, that's gonna be so fucking cool too. And Base Arcade is this big social aspect of the arcade. People just having the same nostalgia for these machines, and just having a shared experience again. That's what I think. That's why I think the Barcades have done as well as they have. Like, anyone can go to a bar and you can sit and you can watch the football, or you can play pool. This is different. This is a different experience altogether. And it's something I've missed for so long. I'm really, really looking forward to getting in here. I don't know who I'm going to run into up there. Hopefully there'll be a few people that I haven't seen in a long time, people that are just going to be up there for a bit of crack, have a chat with a few people. And yeah, I'd really just love to get into that mindset again, where I don't care who you are, where you're from, stick a credit in and help me beat Shredder. That's all I care about. Online gaming with friends, well, fun, but it's nothing compared to playing with a friend at a real arcade. Yes, I 100% agree with you there. Like, playing, even the co-ops that we would usually have on the older generation consoles, where it'd be like a split screen, you know, you and your mate sitting on the sofa. That's great and all, but it's you sitting on a sofa watching a big TV. This big machine where you're just battering your way through level after level and enemy after enemy, and you're just yelling out calls that make absolutely no sense. It's like, he's on me, he's on me! I can see, I'm looking at the same fucking monitor as you. But yes, it's a completely different experience, and one that just isn't replicatable anywhere else. You don't get the same experience anywhere but an arcade, and I'm so glad to see it coming back. And I really hope that all these places do well. I wish Barcadia the best of luck in the world. I really hope this kicks off and just goes through the roof. And whatever his plans are for the future, I hope they all come to fruition. I really wish that we see the same growth of the Barcades that's been seen in America. I know America's a lot bigger, and there's multicultures and all the rest of it. Like, you can have, there's obviously going to be Barcades all around the world that don't work for whatever reason. They're in the wrong place where the demographic just doesn't fit. UK is a smaller place. You're gonna put, like, for NQ64, you've got, granted it's over in the mainland, but you've got ones in London, you've got them in Manchester, you've got them in Bristol, you've got them in Glasgow, Edinburgh, blah blah blah. You're not that far away from one of these places. You can head out and go to them for a day, or for, like, go to one of the cities for a weekend break and do that kind of stuff. Go for a meetup with, like, a bunch of mates and have a really good time. Northern Ireland, we don't really have it. We have a few bars that have arcade machines, and I know that sounds really stupid, but it's not a barcade. It's a bar that has, like, a golden tee and a Mortal Kombat machine. That's kind of what I mean by that. It's not really the same thing. It's not like, whereas the way I see a barcade is, it's an arcade that has a bar rather than a bar that has a couple of arcade machines. It's that sort of turnaround. So I really hope that NQ64, I really hope they come to over to Belfast fairly soon. I'd love to see them do well over here. Like, they know their shit. There's a really cool thing they've got in, I think it's in the Manchester one. One of the guys that works with them has built this thing called the Wall Boy, and it's basically a giant Game Boy, like proper big dot matrix green screen on it, and it just looks fantastic. I think it's controlled by a controller, but internally it's a Game Boy running it. Like, there's no emulation, it's a fucking Game Boy running this thing, and it's insane. I really dig it. I love when someone comes up with shit like that. But yes, NQ64, Barcadia, Base Arcade, I hope this just keeps going from strength to strength, because I want to go for a ride with this. I want to keep going and see where it all ends up. I didn't think at this stage of my life I'd be so excited over an arcade opening, but I really, really am. I'm so looking forward to the weekend to get up there and just playing some games. I actually took the next day off from work because I have no idea what time I'm getting home at. They're gonna have to kick me out. I will be there still trying to set high scores on whatever machine I can get my hands on. But yes, I really, really can't wait for this. Tom, how's things? Did you go for it? Did you pull the trigger? Tom had a Star Wars pinball in his basket the other day. And I don't know whether or not he actually went for it or not. It was a decent price. Sorry, throat's a wee bit dry. Not yet. Oh, that's tempting. That price is very good. I think one of the guys on the Discord pointed out that the only time it's ever been lower was Costco. Yeah, the Costco site had it for £360, but you need the membership in order to buy from there. So yeah, I mean, it's a decent price, especially if you're going to soft mod it and add all of the additional features onto it. So it's decent. I don't want to try and put any peer pressure or anything like that on. It's like my little opinion. I thought I picked it up at a good price, and I'm very, very, very happy with it. But yeah, that's. I think one is enough. Yeah, I can't understand that. It's definitely. I love. See some of the tables on the Star Wars one. They are really, really cool. But if you've got one, if you want to, do the soft mod, it's always open. But I just love that Marvel one. That's my only regret, is that I really don't like the artwork on the Star Wars one. I would 100% prefer either Marvel or Attack from Mars. But not everything we can comes to pass. But yeah, I think that's kind of me for tonight. I really do dig what's happening with all of these like little pop-up experiences and barcades and things like that. And yes, I am. Thank you, Hobby Hans. I am definitely going to check out Nostalgia Nerd's channel. I'll do that in the morning, and then I can add him to. I'll subscribe to the channel, and then I can have a little look around at what he's got done so far. But that's a. Do you know what? Sorry, my throat's gone. I kind of have this idea in the back of my head that I would love to open up like a barcade or something like that. Big issue is I have no capital. No capital. No one's gonna lend me shit. And I have no experience in repairing any of like the older machines. I'm sure it's something that you could learn, but you'd have to have that skill before you attempt anything like this. So I'm glad that some other people are trying it. I would love to have done it myself, but meh. When do you think Time Crisis comes out? I would have thought that we would have heard something about Time Crisis by now. My thought was, as a couple other people have said, that maybe they were waiting to see how the linking from the Fast and Furious cabs worked, and then maybe integrated into Time Crisis in order to integrate it into the cabinet to allow for maybe Time Crisis 2. However, I've just watched Fox's review of the Fast and the Furious cabs, and he had the two cabinets linked on a local network. The lag was absolutely terrible. The cars were glitching and teleporting all over the place. You have no idea who's winning, because one second there could be a car in front of you, the next minute that car is completely gone and out of sight. It's a really poor looking experience. I don't think, I know it's kind of out of Arcade 1-Up's hands at that point, because this was Raw Thrills who developed the port, who created the linking technology. It's just poorly implemented, and I don't know whether or not that's a problem on the PCB. But I think if Arcade 1-Up were waiting to see whether that could be used for Time Crisis, I think that's been a waste. I don't think it'll work properly. It's too glitchy. When we'll see Time Crisis, I mean, like I said, I would have thought by now we would have seen something, unless they've really taken a step back to redesign this from the ground up. Whether it's still going to be a Time Crisis machine, I don't know. Are they going to rebrand it and do something else? At this stage, it's anyone's guess. It's been completely radio silent since those leaked pictures, and maybe it has gone the way of Track and Field. You know, Track and Field existed. We know it does. We know there's a prototype of it, but it never released. I hope it's not. I really hope that we do see Time Crisis in some capacity soon, but the possibility is there that it's been shelved. I don't know. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Like I say, I will try and get as much footage. I will try and get as much footage as I can when I'm up at Base Arcade over the weekend, and I will put together something. I'll put together like a little vlog or something along those lines, and just kind of show how it's all looking for anyone who's interested. Yeah, I just wanna walk around and play the games. I'm gonna have so much bloody fun. I'm not gonna be able to wipe the smile on my face while I'm up there. It's gonna be absolutely cracker. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I will see you again very soon. Take care out there. Bye for now.
Thank you.